In this lab, we're going to look at the colors of different elements in a flame. So you should have your handout that we got in class. We have just made one change to the handout. We're taking off barium chloride, so we'll just look at sodium, strontium, potassium, copper, and calcium. And then we're also going to look at two unknowns. The unknowns are going to be one of the ones that we've done before, so they should match one of the colors that we see earlier in the lab. The first thing I want to do is follow my instructions for lighting a Bunsen burner. So I've got my Bunsen burner all set up with the air almost closed, and I'm ready to light it. I light my match first, then I turn on the gas, and I can light it. The flame's going to be a bit yellow when I first start, so I'm going to change it to a blue flame, and this is a little bit high, so I'm going to just make it a little bit lower. There we go. So I'm going to start with the first one on my list, sodium. So the key thing is that we want to take the sodium and just watch for the first color, not let the splint burn. So we want to see the sodium chloride has been dissolved in water, and my splint has been soaking up the sodium chloride and the water. And I don't want the stick, I don't want to see this color of the wood burning on the stick. I want to see the color of the sodium chloride. And it's actually the sodium. And you can see, actually there's a nice vibrant color there, and the stick's not burning. It's that vibrant orange color. And since my stick's not burnt, I'm okay to put that down. So that's the sodium. The next element on my observations table is strontium. And I'm going to, again, take the strontium chloride, and I'm just going to put it into the hottest part of the flame. The hottest part of the flame is not right at the bottom. It's actually about halfway up. There's an inner cone that's not hot at all, so it's above the inner cone. And as soon as I put it in, I should see some colors. And you can see, it's a little bit hard to see on the camera. That's why let me see if I can do another one and change the angle a little bit. So this, we should see, there you can see the bright red color there for strontium. My next one is potassium. This one's a little bit tricky. But you can see a little purple along with that orange. A little pinky purple along with the orange. And that's my potassium, color of potassium. Copper, I'm actually going to show you all of these solutions here are clear, colorless liquids, but copper is a blue solution. So we'll see what color it is in the flame. So definitely a clear color for copper. My last one is calcium. And this one we're going to hold right into that hottest part of the flame. And it's definitely, it's a little red, but not quite as bright red. It's a reddish orange. And you want to take that color before it burns. You can show that one again. So you want that color before the stick burns, that orangey red color. And lastly, we want to look at two unknowns. So I have my first unknown solution here, unknown number 1. We have a little hint, if we look at our solution, what this might be. So it's going to be either the sodium, strontium, potassium, copper, or calcium. And I'm going to hold it in the flame to see that characteristic color, to see if I can see which one it is, even though we did have a little hint. And that was the first unknown. So you should record that first unknown and see what you think it is. My second unknown is a little bit more difficult to tell just by looking at the solution. So we'll hold the the element into the metal in the salt, found in the salt, and we'll hold it in the flame and see if we can identify which one it is. Ah, so there's a very bright color there. And we want to compare that to some of our other elements. Let's try that one more time. There's a very bright color that you can see from that one. So those are your flame tests. We can use that characteristic color of the metal in the salt. I'm going to just turn off my gas. And we want to just note that they do have, it is in a compound, but we're actually looking at the color of the metal. So we're going to predict the color of the metal. Use the color of the metal that we saw to predict what metals are in our unknown solutions.